Hello, fellow
quarantinees.
We have been stuck at home.
Yes,
Please
we
send help.
Please for me more than him, but anyhow.
Welcome back to From Both Sides,
From Both
podcast
Sides.
with a Zoomer
And the Boomer.
named Dean and Faja, where we talk about some topics, some possible discussions, some big brain thoughts and philosophies. But again, following our previous podcast that we just did, we're going to talk a little bit more about COVID-19 again this time.
We wanted to get a little more in depth on just some of the things that's happening since
talk about some of the new
changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because things have changed a lot, and even some of my feelings towards some of it has changed a lot too.
Yeah, because you're, and this is going to be a good segue, but you're currently unemployed because of the whole ordeal, and I'm currently working as an essential employee because I work at a market. So,
which is kind of different because we changed roles since this has happened.
Yeah.
I was supposed to, we were going to keep working for a while, and you weren't working at the time, and now you're working in an essential area, and I'm not working at all because I can't work.
So,
and that's been, another week's been added to that again, so yeah.
But just to explain to you guys really quick, just a little bit, some of the topics we'll be talking about today is just some of the updates that have happened. Kind of give our perspectives a little bit on everything that has occurred since then, whether it be from his perspective, my perspective, as a person who's currently working or not working, what we've been doing at home. What are some of the other things?
I know it'd be nice for you to just kind of tell some of the stuff you've had to do since you've been working, and some of the things they're asking you to do, and
some of the changes from what would normally be. Yeah.
And all the X's and O's that are all over floors nowadays.
Also, some more tips and suggestions for you guys, too, because there's a lot of things that I've gotten to realize and had to deal with working with essential people and also with hospital people and stuff that I would like to share with you guys, too, that I think are very important, because we kind of laughed it off a little bit last time and kind of joked about it a little bit more, but we're going to take it a bit more serious and also be a little bit more serious with the suggestions and tips too, because I know that I read straight from the CDC last time, but I want to kind of give more of a personal opinion on all of this too, from what I've seen and what I've had to deal with. So.
And that wasn't really to downplay COVID-19. COVID, excuse me. For you guys that have been experiencing those issues and stuff and have family members and stuff, it's just it's a hard thing for anybody to deal with something so serious. Yeah. So
especially if they may not have had to even deal with something like this before, whether it be war, whether it be like sickness or any plagues and famine and stuff.
A lot of people live their whole life and don't deal with none of that stuff. So all this happening where it's the whole world's involved, it's a big difference. It's a big change, and it's something you got to really, really think about, you know. I still have some of my other feelings we said from the first podcast, but some of the other ones have changed. So that's just because of now it's hitting the United States so rough.
And plus the changes even just in Italy?
Yeah.
With how many people are passing there and how many we're expected to have passing here now. They estimate it's supposed to be in the 100 to 200,000s, but I don't know if it's going to be that extreme, but I definitely will say, even for where we live, where we're out in the middle of nowhere and there's not a lot really around us, right?
No, I think our closest town only has 6 cases right now.
Well, that's my point, though. Even being out in the middle of nowhere, we still have cases happening and popping up.
Yeah, and currently. We really aren't now. No place real close to anything.
Yeah,
where you guys know we're from Ohio, but the area that's getting the biggest hit right now is around Cincinnati.
Right,
and that's not even that close to us where we're at either.
I think Cincinnati and Cleveland.
It's mostly it's Cuyahoga County or something. I can't remember. But that's the area it is, and they got 500 and something cases there.
Goodness gracious.
So and I think that's because a lot of people travel, and they travel in and out of Cincinnati. So that is a big hub for travel. So that's probably why.
Really quick, talking about that actually too, with all the people that are still having to kind of deal with that are out there, aside from just people, for example, in the U.S. right now, or at least we do it state by state, depending on what's all happening with the situation, whether it's quarantine, whether it's traveling, whether it's whatever, it's state by state.
Stay at home or whatever it is.
So currently right now, at least in Ohio, we have mostly just a social distancing type of ban and a quarantine where it's not a stay-at-home order where people catch it, like people
kind of is Ohio and Michigan both,
right?
But they're not like giving tickets out or anything yet.
And that's what I was about to say is police aren't stopping you. There's no demand to not go out and about right now, but they're highly suggesting it.
It's more on the social distancing and keeping the groups of people down to diddly squat.
Which, talking about that, the reason they're discussing that now and the reason they're saying that is because it has been, and this is for you guys to know, it's said and has been realized now because there's a lot of fake rumors going on about it. COVID is not a airborne illness. It's not one that you can go by talking. I mean, you can get it from talking, but it has to be through liquid. It has to be through blood. It has to be through contact. It has to be through something.
It's not through the air, what they call it's I can't think what they call that, vaporizing type thing. It's for the liquid.
It has to be through something. So just letting you guys know, that is most of the reason why the social distancing stuff and why they're telling you if you're going to touch things and stuff, because if there's sweat, if there's blood, if there's snot or whatever, mouth,
when somebody
drool,
sneezes
things like that,
and stuff like that, it's all that. That's
anything,
what it's all about.
It can go on stuff and stay there. I don't know what the total lifespan is, so I'm not going to say anything because I want to try to keep things as official as possible from what I've actually read up on it. But it's smart. Just take care of yourself, wash your hands, make sure you watch what you're touching, not touching any part of your face or anything like that, even ears, nose, eyes, whatever. But you can go out and touch things and deal with stuff. Just watch what you're doing, more or less, is the whole goal of it.
The more porous the surface is, the better off it is. In other words, the more bigger holes are and stuff like that. Paper bags are better than plastic bags because plastic bags are more solid.
Right.
And that's why they say get rid of plastic bags now.
We've been saying that for a long time.
But I'm just saying, other groups disagree with that, but whatever. Anyway, go ahead.
But mainly the point of what I was going to say is, being an essential employee, I've had to deal with a lot of necessary workers too, or they come in and they're trying to get things either for their hospitals or for firefighters and stuff, because we're at the place I work now, we're doing 10% discounts and such for people that are in essential services.
Good.
And
excellent.
Which is really, really good. I think it should be honestly a little bit more, but obviously with the whole what's it called, the whole economy, we wouldn't be able to not have money keep going into something and taxes coming in and being able to thrive. So it's understandable, but at the same time, with the situation, it does make sense. But we've had to try to get hand sanitizer, and we've had to try to get the antibacterial wipes or toilet paper, et cetera, for even just hospitals and such, or nurses or elderly home people. We've had them all come in, and we've had to talk to them and see what's available, and thermometers and stuff, because people are just going crazy and buying them out. And I don't think it's so much that people, and I know there are people out there that are buying them in mass quantities, which if you're doing that, you're stupid. Please stop, because there's people that actually need it. But I think it's more along the lines of there's such limited quantities of things, because markets and stores and stuff like that, or even pharmacies, they're not stocked to be able to have it's like the concept of a bank that's not stocked enough to have everybody come in all at once and try to buy things. It's stocked to have people come in increments. That's why there's weekly trucks, or bi-weekly trucks, every 2 weeks, or twice a week, or once a week, whatever. So, and with everything kind of going on with everybody trying to rush in and grab stuff like that, just be smart with what you're doing. I'm sorry, I'm itchy right now. It's allergy season, so my nose is driving me crazy. But just be smart in what you're doing. And if you don't have something to worry about, if you don't have somebody that's a little bit older, if you don't have somebody that you're going to be stressed about who's in constant contact with people, if you guys are just at home, be respectful and let people be able to go out, especially essential workers, because we have to take care of those people all the time right now. And it's kind of getting frustrating seeing them come in and they're like, we just ran out of all of our gloves. We just ran out of hand sanitizer, toilet paper, blah blah blah, and we're getting shipped it directly, but we're trying to pick it up ourselves so we can have some more for people. And it's frustrating to not be able to help them, because I just kept apologizing to this one lady just today. I kept apologizing to her, and she's like, "It's not your fault," and I'm like, "I know, but like."
Yeah. Well, and to go, this is actually what you're saying is, those people that would really need to have the gloves and respirators more are the older people.
Older people and essential workers that are dealing with this
constantly.
Because I mean, there's nurses that they're the town that's about an hour to an hour and a half away, right? Mm-hmm. There's nurses that have come from all the way over there just to our in the middle of nowhere places, right, that are all around here, and just trying to see if they can find something, because it is in the middle of nowhere, so you would think there'd be more, but we're getting stocked on some things, but other things are just I don't know. It's just honestly frustrating. And then go ahead.
Well, I was on a lighter note. My daughter was talking about, and you've seen her. She had a Facebook post.
Can I read it to him in a voice, please? Can I do like a whole?
I'd be fine.
I actually
thought
I wanted.
You want to do that first? I'll go on through a few more things, and then
let me finish with the serious things, and then okay.
Because it's good, and we need.
I'll give you
a direct.
Gotta
smile through some of this, folks, because
I think I want to make a whole video of this by itself. By
yeah,
the way.
that would be
good. I do want to give
good.
you guys a quick preview of it beforehand, because it's really funny. My
good.
sister, I know you guys don't really know her. Yeah, she is. Oh my gosh, but
funny.
My sister, she had written up a full spiel, because since she has gone through brain cancer and she still is going through it, she got to go into like a Target, and they let like necessary people in, and they let them go in and things like that, and shop around during certain hours and stuff. So she got to go in, and she it's a whole story. We'll get into it.
Between 7 and 8, I think it is. It's supposed to be for older people, but also for people who have their immunity systems really low and stuff.
Yeah.
So anyhow.
No, so as an essential worker, though, so far, dealing with the things, we've had to start, especially for the social distancing stuff, we had to start marking off like 6-foot sections on the floor. So if people are coming up to like cash registers and stuff, and if I have to check them out, they all have to be kind of standing far apart, and I don't have to yell at them or anything like that, but I do suggest every time people come through, we have a bottle of hand sanitizer there, so we always let them take that. Not take one.
Yeah, he's
but
made
like,
me clean like 3 times. I've come to the store.
Yeah, he's come and visited me, and I've just like put on
Within
that hand
a couple
sanitizer.
seconds
You
of
touch
each
that
other.
money, you have to do it. Yeah. And but yeah, so I keep suggesting it to people, and then people
and
keep
it's a very
asking.
good thing to do. It really is. So.
Yeah, and so like we also now have to, and we don't normally have to ever do this, but for like the coolers and the shopping carts and the door handles and stuff like that, we have to take an antibacterial wipe and make sure like it's soaked and wet every single one of those down, like at least 2 to 3 times a day.
Yep.
And then the keypads, anything like that, for like credit cards and stuff, we have to wipe all those down. We have to wipe our things down. We even got sent, and I think I talked about this a little bit last time, but we got sent little wooden glass panes or plastic panes to put in front of our register, so if people are talking, it's not going to hit us. But, if they're still passing stuff through, it's going to be on their hands and things, so we just have to do that. But I think it's to block more of our faces than anything. But we've had to put all that on. We've even got sent gloves, and we have to wear those on and off depending, which we should all be wearing them, but we haven't been just because everything's been so busy, so we're trying to just throw on stuff real quick and then just keep going out and stocking stuff and dealing with things. But honestly, right now, as an essential worker, like for those of you still working, having to deal with this, or even, I'll start like this. For those of you at home, if there's things you can do right now, like I know you're probably bored, and try to keep yourself occupied and do the best that you can, and just manage even with the possible low income that you have. I wish you best of luck. And, I know websites are down and everything for trying to apply for was it the financial compensation? I can't think what it's called. Unemployment, yeah. I know the website's been really rough to get to, and they're not even taking phone calls anymore. But honestly, if there's some like a job or something that you can do, or if there's some way that you can help with people right now, do so. Like even I know quarantine and social distancing is a thing, but do so as much as you can, because the amount of stress that's just on us is like a 6-person team right now. I can't even imagine for hospitals and all that, because like us, I mean, at least me, when I'm at work, I'm constantly moving. Like, I mean, you guys can probably see like the bags under my eyes. Like, we're nonstop running around and stuff like that. And my sleep schedule probably doesn't help with that partially, but that's also because I'm working I'm working on other things too. So getting a break is kind of a little bit more difficult now. But running around constantly, stocking things, taking care of people, and trying to make sure everybody's taken care of, especially during this. Like, you can just see, like, in this area, generally people are pretty, like, either positive or pretty, like, okay, at least, if they're going shopping and picking stuff up. But you can just see, like, the mood change in the way that people are reacting, especially with the financial portion of everything, because we've had some really good discussions with people. But if you can go out and go do something, try to pick up a job, try to help out in some way, even if it's food industry, even if it's cleaning. You know, I know it's not the most appealing thing, but I mean, I'm mopping floors and cleaning bathrooms right now too. So do what you can to help out, because this is a mess.
Volunteer a little bit if you can. Even, I mean, you'll have to create social distancing while you're doing it, but still, I mean, just there's everybody that's in the front lines, and that's part of what we want to talk about. The doctors and nurses, they are getting wore out. Yeah. They're there.
That nurse I talked to today, if you've seen her, I mean, she looked like she would be one of those people that just smiles all the time and is so energetic. She was just dead.
Yeah.
You could just see it, like her eyes, her facial expression, it was just drooping. And I mean, you can tell there's types of people where they're smiling all the time because their cheekbones are kind of poofed up and they just look like they have the bright eyes and stuff like that. But she just, it was not in her at all today. And it was honestly kind of really just sad, because, you know, you want to see some uplifting type of portions in people right now, or some type of uplifting emotions in people right now. And it's just, you can't.
It's just hard because they're so wore out and just taxed. And for you to be a nurse, first of all, you got to care for people anyway. So
it's already rough enough as it is.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that caring aspect, it's hard, because they're seeing people really hurting and in really desperate situations, and they're just wanting to make it through and help those people make it through. And they're not always going to have that option. Some of those people are going to pass. Yeah. And that's hard when you're somebody trying to save somebody's life and you see that happen. And, just the fact that you're trying so hard to save everybody and be there and support them and stuff, and then see them pass. I mean, that's got to be hard. So if you have friends, neighbors, I don't, if they're doctors and nurses and volunteers at hospitals, man, support them. If you could take them a meal maybe, or anything you could do to help their life a little bit better, you know, do something with their lawn or whatever, you know, I don't know what you can do, but I'm just saying anything you could do to make their life easier right now would be fantastic, because they are going through some stress.
Because, I mean, I don't have a terribly long drive. I don't have to deal with, like, the food issue too much, because we can still take breaks and deal with things if we need to. But, I don't know. It's just chaotic right now, honestly, at least from my portion of it. And then I know with you've been off work, so you haven't had to deal with it quite as much. You've been able to finally breathe, because you were stressed out for a long time there, but now you're able to finally kind of breathe. So from your perspective of it, I know you said you got your pay cut like 25%.
Yeah, 25%.
Now you're kind of just stuck at home, and you're not really, I mean, you're doing some stuff for you and just kind of helping around with other people and things. But from your perspective, how has that been?
I just, you know what, I've been fortunate myself, because I've had somebody that's going through some, they didn't know if their house was going to sell. They had to kind of get off. They were financially strapped really bad, and they need to get rid of this one house, and they'd made some purchase agreements and everything before all this started. So they were hoping that would get done. Yeah. And so they were stressed about that, and stressed about moving and everything, and thank goodness all that's worked out. So I've been able to have a little free time to help them get those things done and get moved into their other place. And if I probably hadn't been off work, I probably wouldn't have been able to do that.
Right.
But so it's, I think I'm still, like, I'm worried financially. I'm not worried terrible, because I am at least getting compensated, but I know there's a whole lot more people that aren't.
Yeah.
And I've been actually thinking a lot about maybe volunteering for some areas of whatever I can do. Like a lot of companies are starting to do other things and work in areas that they never done before. Like General Motors and Ford are working together for making respirators. I mean, not respirators, but
masks.
No, GM's making masks. They're up now to making 20,000 a day, and they could be up to 1 million before a day within this month. So that's incredible. And Ford and GM are both making the machines. It's not respirators. What do they call the big machines that people are going on? Maybe it is respirators. Yeah, it is respirators. I'm sorry. The other ones are actually just the face masks. So anyway, a lot of that's happening. I've actually been thinking, because my what I used to be as a machinist, and I can do a lot of stuff that way. And I've actually thought about calling a couple of companies up and saying, "Hey, I'm available. I'll work with you as long as I can until So I have been thinking about doing that, and I may actually move on that tomorrow. Actually, I've been thinking about it. I don't know if they'll take me or they'll be able to do anything with me, but it sure want to make myself available to do that as long as I can do it and I'm off work.
It's kind of a weird thought to see companies like you'd said, GM and Ford doing stuff where it almost kind of feels. And I know this is like a kind of iffy comparison, but World War II times where they were. People were working together, just random companies and places working together to fund the people. And I know it was a different situation where they were making bullets and weapons and all sorts of things. But it is kind of the same
thing, because we're in war with a disease.
With the pandemic, yeah. So coming together and seeing something like that's pretty cool, where you can come all together and work towards doing something. And I know, too, and I'll talk about it a little bit. I thought about not talking about it yet and kind of waiting to announce it and stuff, but I'll probably talk about it a little bit. But I know recently that there's another YouTuber. His name's Jacksepticeye. He had talked about doing on April 7th, this coming Tuesday, which by this time I'll probably post this before then. We'll see how it comes all out. But he wants to do one. Yeah, there's a lot going on. He wanted to do one giant charity event on April 7th, and I thought about taking part of it and streaming for 6 hours, try to raise some money, try to encourage this stuff, not raise money for us, not do anything like that. Just try to encourage getting people to donate and try to help out and see what we can do as like a worldwide fund and trying to help people in the places that might need it most, or even the U.S. or
and we're
whatever.
Talking about the COVID-19.
Yeah, for COVID-19. Yeah, just to clarify, it's a charity event for COVID.
COVID. Yep.
But it's a charity event to try to fight off COVID-19, and it's a whole bunch of streamers and content creators and people all around the world coming together. And I've been contemplating taking part of it and trying to just at least spread the word and get people to realize what's going on and share it. So if there are people that aren't going through financial issues right now, that they'd be able to help in some way, even if it's not in their community, that they'll be able to help some way. And I'll probably donate some myself because I got some extra money now that I'm working a lot, pretty much almost every day now. I think I've gone, even on my days off, I've only had, I think, one now.
That's because you're working in an
essential thing. And anytime that we think there's time off, generally something happens, so we all get pulled in, and there's like more trucks. And anyways.
Going along with that, I'm just saying, if like today I went to one of the food services place and got us meals.
Yeah.
And obviously you can't go into the place. They're just, out buying, what do you call that? Takeout. Yeah. So, and that's what I did. And one of the places that I'm not used to going into and stuff, but.
Yeah, because all the food places actually right now are pretty much shut down except for takeout.
Yeah. No, and those places are having a hard time too. They're having a real hard time.
Stores are.
Yeah,
some stores have to, like, I was talking to somebody, a firefighter lady today who, which by the way, that's really cool, seeing ladies and stuff and doing firefighter stuff. That's cool to me.
Yeah.
But she came in and we talked for a little while, and I got to hear how Walmarts are shutting down like their whole, like right side entrance, and they have like time limits on how many people can be in and what times and everything.
Only 50, I think, 50 people now, and I think it's Walmart, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, but food places.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm just gonna say, when you go in there and you are, because they've got to make a living too, and they are way, way down on the people going to them and stuff.
Waiters and waitresses probably don't make anything right now.
Yeah, so I went in there. I went ahead and bought my food, and I paid them more than what I needed to pay them for. What I'd even pay them more when I give them a tip, just because they need the money too. They're trying to keep their doors open too, and they're down. They've been down for some of them a couple weeks already, if not 3 weeks. So I'm just saying. So if you are one of the people, you're getting your meals from any of these restaurants that are not open or only doing out, then throw them a tip, give them a little bit extra money,
especially
if
local
you can.
places.
I mean, I realize some of you are out of work and you can't do it, but if you can do it, oh my gosh,
local places, especially
your locals, if you're from the area.
I mean, even, I know this is kind of a little bit of a reach, but even like as a small content creator on YouTube, like or small businesses just starting out and things like that with this whole event. As a content creator, I mean, I'm getting a little bit more viewership because everybody's kind of at home and, things are kind of out there and, making some things distract people and then also conversating about the topics. It's helping out a little bit. But imagining small businesses that are having to go through this where they're supposed to be interacting with people. And, versus like fast food chains that are all around the entire world, they're not having an income pretty much at all right now.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe some takeout, but
some are I mean, a lot of those are in, you eat in the restaurant too. So
they're only dine-ins.
Yeah, so that's crazy.
I can't even imagine those one. Was it the one? There's these like Asian food places where they'll do the cooking stuff right in front of you, and generally they'll let you take some takeout, but the whole experience of it is to get the food cooked in front. I can't even imagine how bad they're suffering right now because they probably don't do takeout at all.
The one Asian buffet we went to over in the one town we go to north, they're closed.
They do takeout too. I'm surprised.
Yeah, no,
I was surprised
closed.
Actually in the other the one town that we have to go to do like the workout stuff and all that. The one, not the place I normally like to go to, but the one across the street from it, that place is actually still open.
I'm surprised.
There's some weird places that are still open. Like there's some bars and stuff that are still going that do like takeout food, and I'm surprised to see some of those chains still going. Like some of the because some of them are local and some of them are
busted for that.
Well, no, they're not open for the public. They're doing takeout only.
Okay,
but
gotcha.
I'm just saying I'm surprised to see bars doing takeout, which is weird. But they're thriving still.
They're trying to make their money even doing it without making it alcohol. I guess I don't know.
Maybe they'll throw in some alcohol with it on their takeout. I don't know. I mean, you got gifted. Talking about that, since you gave a little bit extra big tip, they gave you.
No, they didn't even know I was going to give them that. I didn't pay them till I got the food.
No, I get that, but you got some dessert and stuff with it because they were so grateful about it.
They were so grateful that they gave us 3 desserts, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, they gave us a blueberry pie.
And she didn't tell me until after I paid her. She said, "Oh, by the way, we threw in some dessert," and I thought, "Oh my gosh!" I mean, as it was, they're hurting. And yet they still did that because that's how much they appreciated my business.
Yeah.
So I even did pay them the extra money I was going to do before they even told me. So it worked for both of us. We were really happy, and it was great to see that. But anyway, all that being said, one thing I wanted to say very strongly, and just before we get into the other part, which is about what we're doing with our time off. Folks, keep your hands clean. Keep yourself clean. And if you're going into businesses where you're touching things and picking up and looking at it, make sure that you washed your hands and use the sanitizer or the hand wipes or whatever, because you're just passing that crap on to somebody else if you don't.
And if you're going to sneeze, cough, anything, even if you need to itch your face,
Yes.
Okay, this is the normal process.
We've done our hands a lot, so you've been seeing us do the itch that
we've washed our hands a ton. I promise you, because
even being
since
at home,
I am an essential, I have to always do it.
Absolutely.
And then once I get home, I fully wash them off. But if you're going to do any of that, the process I generally do, and this is, it might sound as a goofy thing, but this is what I normally do. If I have to sneeze, cough, anything, I always will do it like right into the corner, if not like my bicep area. And if I need to rub my face, I always use the edge sleeve, and that's what all I do. I'll like scratch my eye, I'll do whatever. I just do not use my hands because I have to do money, I have to deal with products, I have to deal with people. Right. So if you're even, I mean, a lot of people don't think about it, but think how much stuff you touch in just like the next 10 minutes that you're interacting with things. I mean, if you're laying in bed, that's one thing, right? If you're laying on your couch, whatever, if you're at home, that's okay. But still, even if you are at home or even if you're going out, think how many things you touch just within a time frame of going to your car. You have to touch your shoes. What's your shoes? Who knows where that has been? Because people could have whatever they have out on the ground or whatever, and your shoelaces might touch things or whatever. You got the door. You have any of your clothes. If you touched any of your clothes, like your jackets and stuff, while they were out and about, if you brushed up against people, if you had people sneeze, cough, talk on you or anything like that, and you just touched that, you just got to, the point of it being is you just got to think of all the things you're touching in between that time and make sure you keep hand sanitizer, keep soap, keep whatever on. Because, I mean, we had to go interact with some of our neighbors the other day, and they're elderly. Like, they're very, very old. Yeah. And, we love them to death, but the problem is...
They're in their 80s.
Yeah.
70s and early 80s.
But the point of it being is I decided like a dummy, and I don't know why I did it, but I decided to wear my jacket over there because it was still really cold out, but it wasn't like this jacket that I only wear at home pretty much exclusively. It was the jacket that I had been wearing to work. And so once we got over there, because we had went and visited them to check if they needed groceries and stuff, and I needed to see if they had some stuff for some of the things we're building, which now you guys know about it. It's the lightsaber. The guy does some leather work, so we were buying some leather off of him. But when I went over there, I realized, and I just got really self-conscious about it. I didn't want to touch anything. I was having people open doors for me and stuff, and I just tried to stay away from everything because I just got real nervous because, so I don't know.
Gotta be aware.
And see, that's another thing, too, is I didn't realize at the time, but I had that leather in my hand that whole time, and he took it right out of my hand like it was nothing. And that stressed me out so bad. I'm sure everything will be fine, but... my point being is just even in that short time period, we were only there for like 10 minutes. And in that short time period, how much interaction and how many things you have to touch, just you got to be as self-aware as possible. And
especially around older people.
Yeah.
Especially around older
people.
And
I know it's hard to pull yourself out of your own head, but like you got to right now. You got to worry about everybody else because it's at that point where you aren't caring about other people, no matter how much you might dislike or hate people or whatever, you got to do it because it's pretty much at this point where it's getting to be like some countries and some governments are seeing it as like assisted homicide. So just try your best, Yeah,
hopefully through this whole thing, I think even when it comes to flu and having a cold and stuff, people are going to realize it. If you're sick, stay the frick home. Yes. And don't take it with you. If you got kids that get sick and stuff, don't let them just get out of the house and go to school and make everybody else sick. I mean,
I'm hoping that schools and businesses will start realizing like how important health actually is after this whole thing because it is.
Well, there's going to be a lot of things change. There's no doubt about that.
I hope because this is insane.
It was
insane before. Yeah, because how forced everything was all the time. Like if you didn't go to school, how many repercussions would just happen if you didn't go or even work now? Because I remember there was the one time where we had to deal with even just like some bug infestations and things like that, and I ended up having to stay home and fight them and work with the job I was at the time was all really miffed about that, and that's insane because why would I want to go somewhere and spread something like that? I don't know, that's crazy to me. The stupidity of that mindset is insane, but it's our country. It is what it is right now, I guess. But
well, like I said, I think a lot of things are going to change that way.
I hope so. But
so anyway,
on a whole different note, on kind of a positive note but also more just an informative one, how are we spending our days?
That's a good question.
Yours is a little bit more fun than mine right now.
Well, I don't know if it's fun because I've been doing something almost 24 hours a day. I've been beat because I've been working so much, but it's because I've been helping somebody else, which I have enjoyed doing it, but I have been working kind of late a lot of times.
Yeah.
And doing some real work, heavy duty work. But it's all been good. And so that's what we're going to talk about. What are you guys doing at home? I know you kind of watch some of the stuff that's happening on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, people doing things and
do something. Actually, I'm going to make a challenge really quick too, talking about that. Do something different. For once, like, since you guys do have possibly so much time at home now, because I know even like Jordan, our buddy Jordan, who used to work like 70 hours a week.
Yeah.
I mean, he's off right now. I mean, the place he works at isn't fully shut down, but they have put him off right now because they need other people to kind of work at the moment because they weren't getting enough and stuff. So he's off right now. So my point being, whether you're working a ton, whether you weren't working a ton, and you always fall into these habits of doing stuff at home, I challenge you guys to do something a little bit different. So maybe if you're always watching Netflix, try reading a book. If you normally draw digitally, draw by hand. If you've been wanting to learn or do something, go out and do it. You know, this is the prime...
Read a book, you know.
This is the prime time to do it.
Get the butt off, get the heck off a couch and get out and walk. Oh my gosh, it was gorgeous today.
It was 60.
It was so nice being outside, and when you're outside, that's the great thing about outside. There's a lot of room. You could stay distanced away from people.
There are some countries, though, that can't go out.
Well, I'm just saying,
and they
we
are
can
some
still
of our
do
viewers.
that. They don't care if you get in a car and you drive, as long as you're not driving into people's houses to have congested meetings with everybody, whatever.
Let's shake hands.
They don't mind that you go and take a drive and come back home. And gas is cheap right now.
It is extremely cheap right now.
Oh my gosh. I mean, what a great thing to do if you want to go out and take a ride.
But we are not saying to go out and travel all over the place and to start causing possible transference of diseases to more places.
If you stay the heck in your vehicle, if you're going to do it, take a drive.
Do not go on vacation and go off and be crazy.
Yeah, because there's...
Just to clarify.
You know what? That makes me think of something I just seen in the news. You guys have been watching. They had a couple... cruises. I don't remember the name of the cruise lines now. 2 more freaking cruises now. How long has this thing been happening now? And yet people still went on a freaking cruise?
Yeah, and what he's talking about is
a break. They're down
cruise is like a ship.
Yeah, down in Florida, trying to get in and dock in port now. And in Florida, it says, wait a minute.
500 people.
And there's people that have the COVID-19 right now. And that's why Florida is saying no. Well, Florida finally decided under some certain guidelines they'll let them dock.
But there was 500 people infected.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing that they're still allowing travel in cruise ships right now, and gigantic. Those are a lot of people on a cruise ship, you know. And I shook my head. I can't believe it. Because cruises are usually only 2 weeks long. So why are people still going on cruises?
Well, there was some cruises, and I know this isn't going to help the point, but I know there are some cruises that do like a month-long thing. But even at that point, it still started in, February?
Yes. And this thing was way still engaged in February.
So I don't know. I know people were really wanting to travel because it was really cheap. But point being, just...
Let's get past. Let's take the curve down and get it on the backside of it before we go doing shit like that.
So, but
my language.
Back to the point. Stuff you've been doing, stuff I've been doing. I've been working. I've been doing videos. I will say, because I've had a little bit more time off now, and I'm not so stressed about doing everything because we are so caught up on work, especially thanks to Ethan, our rhythm boy. He's been popping out some videos and helping out and stuff. You guys will see some later this week. Or later last week, because I'll probably post this the beginning of next week. But he's been helping out quite a bit making videos, and I've been popping out videos, and we've been trying to keep on top of everything. So I've had a little bit more time to relax, and since I've been working too, I have a little bit more money, so I'm less stressed about stuff. Even though stress is high, I've been less stressed about financial me.
Right.
But I've had time to actually go and
we got taxes paid off too, so
so there we go.
What is it? Well, I'll tell you what, talk about tax bill.
But I've been able to play some games I haven't been able to play in a while. I've been catching up on anime. I've been actually relaxing a little bit more. I haven't gotten to spend time with friends or do anything on that side of things, which is really kind of getting frustrating because I'm going a little crazy on that aspect. I like social interaction at work, but spending time with friends and doing things is a little bit different than, that. Yeah. So,
so you can still keep in contact with friends and everything. Do it through the internet. Thank God, we have techie people around.
Here's the problem is that's what I've been doing for the past year.
Yeah, I know you have, but I'm saying...
And I'm going crazy.
The people that haven't, we'll get past this, as a nation, as a world, we'll get
You got a lifetime to go. Take a month away from people.
Yes.
It's only a month.
So anyway, go out, walk your dog, read a book, get to a novel, learn
the
something.
Piano.
Yeah, learn something new. Oh my gosh, what would that be if we learned something new?
That'd be crazy.
Oh my gosh, that would be. So anyhow, so one of the things I was watching is all these people getting on YouTube and doing kind of things, collaborating things with people across the world.
Oh yeah.
So they did something. I just seen a group of people do it. One of the Carpenters songs, and I think it was Close to You, but I'm not sure now. I don't remember what the name of it was, but it was a Carpenters song.
A big collaborated
and
song.
It was a big collaboration, huge amount, and they were all singing it as in a choir. But the thing was, the cool part of certain parts were people were singing certain parts, like an alto or baritone.
Yeah.
And it was cool.
So
you got to see
the differences in the actual,
Yeah, you got to see it. It turned out really, really, really good. Every time
I would love to do that. I'm going to be honest. That was kind of my whole plan with
you see that, and you're going to say, "Dang, that's what I wanted to do," because it's exactly what happened.
That gives me an idea. I think I have an idea for a video next week.
Yeah, and that isn't what it was started out to be, but that's what the guy took it to, and they were just everybody's like so. And anyway, that was on one of the main channels networks.
I'm going to do it. I got a good one. And then you were telling me too there was a father
and then there was a grandpa and his granddaughter.
Yeah.
And she was across the road, so they were like 15 feet between themselves because they're distancing.
Yeah.
And she was dancing, and then Grandpa would not copy him, but he would dance too. So it was all over the news. It was a cute little thing, but they were still keeping in contact with each other. Of course, Grandpa couldn't hug her or anything because. He was older than 60 years old. But it was neat seeing it. And so it's just stuff like that, And I've noticed there's been people, some of the entertainers of our world have been putting little concerts on at home, right from their homes and stuff.
Onto radio stations and such.
And it's been pretty cool, too.
Yeah.
So...
Guy, just can't get enough guy, just always so puffed guy.
I want to say I'm so grateful for all of the doctors and nurses all around the world, all of the first responders, all the people keeping our supermarkets stocked. You are our heroes right now. Thank you so much.
There goes my hero. Watch him as he goes.
Just everybody trying to. It's neat because everybody's realizing the stress levels and realizing what a lot of people are going through, and they're trying to just make them feel a little bit better about things and feel, and it's good. So we're all working to kind of to do that and share things and touch people, I guess.
I will say, too, I had a message. I know you kind of brought that up to me, but I had even messaged Carolina Ravassa.
Yes, yep.
Voice of Sombra. I had messaged her and checked up on her to see how she was doing and how the Overwatch family was doing, as well as Trinity School, that the school that we had raised money for a while back.
Yep.
And I had messaged her and checked up on her and sent love from us and everything from Ohio and the crew. And she had messaged back and told me that everybody was doing fine and they were all good and everything. And she'd actually just posted a video about that a little bit ago, too. Yeah. But still getting that response and being able to actually interact with people and talk with people is really cool.
Because they're all people. Yeah. They're no different. Nobody wants to die. We're all people. Everybody, and eventually we're all going to die. But it's kind of nice to think about that. People in humanity finally
working
for
together
the first time
and
working together and coming together.
I'm kind of hoping
awesome.
this, and I know it's kind of probably a little bit of a big leap, but I'm kind of hoping something like this type of situation will bring people together a little bit more.
Yeah, you would hope so.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see, I guess, by the end of it, how it all goes down. But I'm hoping it'll help different societies. And I mean, that's another thing, too. I was actually thinking about this. I don't know why I was thinking about this today at work. And because I got some weird thoughts all the time, right? But I was thinking about this today at work, that I really hope, and I didn't talk to anybody, it was just in my head, but I really hope by the end of this whole thing that it'll kind of make people realize how not different we all are. Because this whole disease started all the way over in China, and the point of it being that we have so much interaction as a world, and so many different cultures and diversities and different people all interacting across the world, to have a disease like this hit every ounce of it. I mean, yes, it's terrible, but on a different outlook of it, it's almost a little reassuring to know how much we do interact with each other, you know?
Yep.
And it was kind of, I don't know, it was a little bit weird way to look at it, but I was just thinking about that today at work. I'm just like, it's kind of a neat thing to see, and I really hope that, honestly, people kind of see it that way, of how much we all do have contact with each other, how much we all are alike.
The world's
and how,
not as big as we thought it used to be.
Yeah.
Because now we see how we could and we could talk to somebody in China. Yeah. We could talk to somebody in Europe.
I mean, we record videos with people across the world.
That's my point. And it's like, we all understand the feeling of having somebody that is close to us, so that we lose them, you know.
I'm just
and
hoping
that's the
that
same way for somebody
people's mindsets about life and having to deal with things, I know it's going to go back to it probably eventually, but I'm hoping at least right afterwards that all the mindsets of like, this is my opinion and our country's the best and blah blah blah, I hope those walls will kind of fall a little bit to where we're a little bit more open and friendly with one another. I know it's probably a long stretch, but I kind of hope for it, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Which now brings apart some of the funnier things. I mean, not funnier things, but just to lighten it up.
I'm scared where you're going with this now.
No, just to lighten things up a little bit.
No.
So the other day I walked in to where Dustin works for his essential place. And one of the big things that everybody's dealing with right now, for some reason, it's like, it seems like every time there's a big crisis, everything gets bought. And there's usually always one main thing that gets bought more than other things.
Three this time.
But this time, one of the biggest things that everybody bought, and usually it's gasoline, but now gasoline is not, because we're not doing a lot of traveling.
The price of it's so low.
And the price is so low, nobody's buying it. But one of the big things is toilet paper. Oh my gosh. So I went the other day, and I didn't think about it. I mean, I remember that everybody's been buying it. It's been 4 or 5 weeks worth. Like, really? Come on, guys. So anyhow, there's none there. So as soon as there's some available, everybody goes and grabs it real quick, right? So I went there, and there was one 6-pack there. So I just picked it up, and I didn't even care if it was 49 ply or 2 ply or what it was, as long as it was toilet paper and I didn't have to use my fingers. So I went ahead and bought it, and so I'm coming home, and it was kind of funny because as I'm coming home, I get this text from my daughter. What we were talking about earlier. So Dustin's Dustin wants to share this with you now.
I gotta read it. All right. What voice should I use for this?
Whatever you want.
Actually, can I do like I think, okay,
whatever.
There's, on Smosh, I don't know if you guys even watch Smosh, but would highly recommend it. And I eventually want to do something like this. But on their Try Not to Laugh funny moment stuff, there's a guy named Shane Top. He always does this character where he goes, hello there, weary traveler. And he's always just like, looking to enter Dave and Buster's, eh? And like stuff like that. And I love that. And I think a voice similar to that suits this situation so well.
Now, this is from my daughter.
And I want you guys to know, this is how long this message is. It is so long. Okay. So should I go? I should just read the whole thing, shouldn't I?
She posted this on Facebook, by the way.
Yeah, this will be our whole... I'm excuse my language already. I'm just gonna say that right now. But this will be our final note of today, and then we'll do an outro, and then we'll go. But I hope you guys can enjoy this as much as we did, because it was really funny. So and I'm just gonna read her whole message, because this sums up Faja and I too. So And I quote, this is what she said, and I'll do a voice when we get into the story. So she said, "Since you both suck and rarely look on Facebook, here's my post this morning. Enjoy. This is what I posted this morning after finding some toilet paper. Cottonelle, A Knight's Tale. Winter had been mild that year, so we looked forward to a beautiful and plentiful spring. When the plague hit, we found that our preparations and reserves were nary enough for our small homestead of 4. Forced to travel for food and supplies, I mounted up, staying off the well-worn paths and away from strangers that passed for fear of spread of pestilence of savagery, for I had heard ample stories of thievery and plundering. After searching through towns and bartering with what little I had to no avail,
Please give me.
I heard whisperings of a sacred place that may have what we so desired. I restrained my hope, knowing that it could take many days' ride to find what we needed, and which time my family may fear for me lost or worse, fall prey to our lack of supplies. And yet I pressed on. Early upon the 3rd day of the week, I found the sacred...
Go, Steed. Oh.
I found the sacred symbol, a red, round circle with which looked to be a target. Guards were posted at the front entrance and surveyed me carefully as I approached.
True.
This time is reserved for those of greatest need. I bowed low before them, at which point they were able to see the sacred mark upon my head. Brain cancer. That which was once thought upon as a symbol of pain, loss, and failure. You may proceed. Upon entering, I found others as myself, also in need, carrying about the very items I desired. I rushed through the catacombs, searching through the maze for what seemed like forever, fearing that all would be lost and I would be too late. When I felt the last of my hope fail and the end of my strength fade away, I saw a beacon of white light. I crawled towards that light, thinking of my children and my husband. At the end of the tunnel, I found a sight so glorious, my eyes could hardly behold it. It was more plentiful than I had expected, and more than enough to get us through. I grasped upon the Holy Grail and proceeded to the front of the castle to make my trade. I mounted my steed, victoriously heading home to my family still snug asleep in their beds, and rejoiced in Providence, who had provided what we needed. I bid you adieu. Wait, we gotta do the poetry style. All right. So that was my sister's story of the week. And I hope you appreciated the voice because that actually really hurts. That actually burns. So yes, she got her toilet paper. She went to Target, and that was the general gist of the story. She did it early in the morning, if you guys didn't pick up on that. So ta-da, bow.
Yeah. It was funny just because that...
I kind of want to animate it.
Doing it.
Like I want to take like a little this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna Photoshop a picture of her head, just a head cut out, and just walking on a tiny little stick body, and just like
you should use that pillow that she got. Use that one, and just put a little garb on it, look like a robe or something.
I would need to have her put it on a contrasted background. I'll just cut it out, and it'd be great. Anyways, we'll make a video of it. I hope you guys will enjoy it. But aside from that, there will be a lot of videos posting in the upcoming week. I'll probably postpone some of the videos that we had planned on doing originally because we need to get some other stuff out. So I do apologize. There will be a postponed week so we can get a little more relevant, important things out. Like, for example, this podcast and then the other idea I had for the music stuff because I think it'll be a little bit more uplifting.
Maybe the Saber, too, part of that.
Either next week or the one following. If you guys, I hope you guys really did enjoy the Saber build, but I'll probably postpone it one more week just because we do have enough footage, but I want to try to get some more positive, uplifting stuff and get you guys maybe a little bit more entertained. Or maybe this week I'll just post multiple videos. We'll see what happens. I still have to work and stuff too, so we'll see. Okay. But aside from that, do you got any final words?
I don't. Just be considerate of everybody.
Yeah.
And if you can help, if you're in a position to help out,
if you got time,
do so. If you got time,
you're in a local place, a community, whether it's a homeless shelter, whether it's people not being able to work, and you can maybe provide some food. I mean, even if it's like children's homes, stuff like that, just do what you can to help out right now because things are really stressful. Because I know I was interacting. I'm going to talk about this a little bit, and I'll just make it short and quick. But before this all started, I was actually talking with a foster home, and we were going to plan out some really cool videos, and we were going to get some stuff done. But we haven't been able to do any of that. I haven't been able to really talk to the guy at all. There's just been way too much going on. So just do what you can to help out everybody right now, because it's crazy. So, but aside from that, just be respectful, be mindful, think of what you touch, clean up everything, clean up after yourselves especially, and research. Do your best to research on what's going on, and don't just waste your time. I do appreciate you guys always watching the videos. Excuse me. Always watching the videos and watching, just, you know, supporting your local creators or even YouTube creators and stuff. But just do what you can to help right now.
Stay healthy.
Yes, very much so. But
stay healthy, guys.
Anyways, and, you know, talking about
thanks for watching our videos and supporting us.
Talking about supporting your local creator, you know, you could check out those links down below, and you could, you know, turn on that bell, subscribe, follow. Yep. If you have a lot of extra money, donate, because that would be greatly helpful right now in supporting what we're doing. But if you can, support to local charities and taking care of other people, because I'd much rather prefer you do that right now than helping us. I would like it, but etc. I mean, what you could do so you get a win out of it is we still have merch, which is also down there, and you could buy a shirt. Just saying.
It's true.
Ooh, which I might actually give away some shirts if we do that charity stream. But you guys gotta help donate. You gotta support. But aside from that, I hope you guys all had a wonderful time watching this video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. I know things are tough, but tough it out. Do your best to distract yourselves. Have a good time. Stay positive, stay creative during this whole time, especially because that's what we need. A little bit more of both.
Yep.
And aside from that, I'll talk to you all later. We will both see you later in our lightsaber videos and our podcasts.
Right. Yep.
And for now, peace off.
Bye.
Love you guys. Eat.
Woo!